This video will show how to incorporate your formatted Excel file into EnergyPlus. So this is what you would have. Eventually, you'd have any number of fractional schedules, and then you can have labels up at the top, and then you would save that somewhere and make sure you have the name. And then you go here to schedule file. That's right here under schedules, and you would put one for every column in that file. So we have here, okay, this is the name of the file, the column number, and then how many rows to skip. So you can have as many rows up at the top as you want. You could have like power, max value, real first value, etc. Make sure this is set to fraction, 8760, comma, and no. So that's basically how you get this file into EnergyPlus. To use it, let's just say we wanted to use it for lights. Actually, we should go find zone list. Okay, so zone list is where you can include all the zones in EnergyPlus that like a specific meter are for. So let's say like you just have like plug load for the entire building. You can just make something like this, all zones, and then list, put every zone in it. If you know, okay, maybe I know what level 1 plug load is, you can make something like, level 1 zones. Well, again, you don't have to do this, but it makes it cleaner for the zone list. And then when you go down here to like lights, you can do just one, so you don't have to do like one for office, one for perimeter, one for, stuff like that. You can just like, okay, all zones, and then you can put it in, and then you'll get a result. So instead of having to do one for every single zone, because you might have a lot of zones, you can just do it that way. So for this, I'm just going to use lights, and like this is going to be like ridiculously high because I'm using the power for CULC in a small building, so that's why it's like 8 watts per square foot. It would never be that high. But the way I like to calibrate it is I'll just enter 1 watt per square foot, and then run the simulation. So it's running just off screen right now. And this is what we had last time. So remember last time when we did the formatting? So we can look at this, like these values, and use that to calibrate it. So as soon as this is done running. Alright. Okay, so now we have lighting office. Make sure like you note the design days at the beginning, because the design days will use a different value. They won't use the schedules. So make sure you always start at like January 1 o'clock, and not July 21st by mistake. And then you can sum these values together and get 15. Okay, so this is what EnergyPlus is giving us, but according to the real value should be 132.5. So to find out what we need to do, because since we only used 1, we can just use 132.5, and then, excuse me, and then divide by this, and then this is how we got that like 8.3927 blah 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 blah. So you take that value and you plug it back into here and run it again, and then you can sum the results, and you'll see that like it's not 100% accurate. Like it's not going to be spot on for every value, but it's going to be very close. And then you can also change it to like, you can find, that's just how I calibrate it because it's kind of the fastest way to do it. You can also sum together the whole thing, find the max value of the whole thing, and then divide that by a max value over here. So this could be 301.5. Yeah, so it's like it's not going to be exactly close. I mean, exactly right, but depending on what you want to do, it's just some different ways to calibrate it. Just because of how EnergyPlus works and how these Excel, tables are generated. So you can either do like this value, that value, somewhere in between, depending on what you need to do. And then you can do the same thing for, people, same thing for cooling, kind of compare it and adjust accordingly. And this is just kind of the quick and easy way to do it. And then it also kind of gives you a sanity check, because if you go to like your lighting load and you have, 9 watts per square foot, like, okay, this isn't reasonable. Maybe I made a mistake somewhere in my formatting. So that's the end of this video. We'll probably talk about how to get here from Design Builder in the next video in case you don't already have a file ready to go.